Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Hope it's fantastic. We didn't get the rain that we were expecting. We got rain, but it's just kind of a little bit of rain. Um, Yesterday we talked a good bit about not wanting to waste people's time, and I had to, I had to kind of come to, well, it's something I've always known about myself, but I think I have to admit it. I have to say it out loud, and so I'm going to say it to you because I've shared all of these sorts of deep inner feelings with you over the years, and I felt very supported by all of you, which is it's good because what I'm about to admit to is it's a side of me that I'm very ashamed of, and it comes down to there's two sides to me, right? Specifically the one that's related to board game design and not wanting to waste people's time by making them play test my game. Uh, the specific side of me that's related to that really tears at me sometimes is that when it comes down to complex tasks like designing a board game, designing a functioning board game, I half-ass everything. For most of my professional career, I've half-assed everything I've ever done. When it's a complex task, when it starts to get, uh, when I start to feel overwhelmed, or I start to feel like uh, there's not a clear exit plan, I'll just half-ass it and ship it and see what happens. And I do the same exact thing with my games. And it's always been a problem. I've always been kind of ashamed of it because when I talk to other designers, they'll talk about, I've play tested this dozens of times with myself. I'm pretty sure everything works the way I want it to. I'm ready to show it to other people. Me? I don't know that I've ever fully solo tested a game, meaning that I've played a game from start to finish in a solo test environment. I will play a couple of turns and then go, okay, that works, let's go, and show it to people. And, Scallywags, my first published game, I literally play tested that game one time. I created the game in my head. I never even play tested it on my own. I made some cards up real quick. I played it with some friends. We went, that works, and I sent it to a publisher, and it got published. And I like to tell that story because it's kind of cute, but it's also pretty toxic, right? Because that's basically the way I approach all of those things. And so part of the reason that I get really nervous about asking people to play my game is because I don't even know if it works yet, because I've half-assed it. I've put in half the effort. I've created a set of rules and a set of components. Whether they function together to form a cohesive gaming experience, I don't honestly know, because I haven't put in the effort on my own. There's the flip side of me. 2 years ago, I built a desk for M. Many of you were around that during that time. It took me 6 months to build a desk, and this desk was nothing more than a flat slab of cherry, 2 cabinets with 6 drawers. Something that I could build in a couple of weekends. It took me 6 months because I knew that M was going to be using this desk, and it had to be perfect. And I spent all of this time scrutinizing details and making sure before I turned any tools on, I knew exactly how it was going to go together, and it was going to be perfect. And my perfectionism got in the way big time on that project because she just needed a desk. She didn't need a perfect, some heirloom piece of furniture. She just needed a desk that worked as a desk. So those are the two sides. Like, for some reason, on certain things, I will probably put in too much effort to make it perfect as a defense mechanism. If I procrastinate forever, then I never have to come to I never have to see the final result, and I never have to accept that I failed or that it's not living up to my standards. And so I will freeze up and I just won't do a thing, and I'll take tiny little baby steps every couple of days, weeks, months, whatever, depending on the scope of the project. I will creep it along so that I never reach the failure point. And that's been a defense mechanism my whole life. And again, the flip side is I'll just half-ass it. And it's the knowledge that I haven't fully committed myself to something before showing it to other people that makes me feel icky about showing it to them. But at the same time, I'm not willing to put forth the effort. I it's like one of those. It's kind of like the trope of asking a depressed person why you're depressed. Like, I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be depressed, right? Like, I would work on that. That's the truth, and I can tell you from somebody who's been clinically depressed in my life that there is no reason. It just is. And is there a reason why I half-ass? I don't know. It's just how I do things. And I think part of it is I seek validation as quickly as possible. I think that might be the key point. Like, I can only do so much on my own. I can only do so much in my head. I can only do so much in my own personal space. I very quickly need to give that to somebody for validation. Not necessarily like praise. I'm not looking for praise. In fact, I'm very rarely looking for praise. I'm looking for validation, or I'm looking for failure point. And so the faster I can show it to somebody and they can make it fail, or they can make it succeed, or they not necessarily make it. They can identify failure points, or they can identify success points. The easier it is for me to resolve. Maybe that's it. I can resolve problems easier than I can create solutions. Maybe that's the real key issue. And so I half-ass creating the solution, and then I can very easily, it's easier for me to fix the problems other people find with my solutions than it is for me to craft a good solution before giving it to other people. And so now that I've said it that way, I guess that's kind of like the software development version of, like agile. That is a legit way of making something. Make a prototype, fail quickly, fix it. The difference is I have a hard time putting it in front of other people and watching it fail, knowing that I haven't put in the effort on my part. And it makes me feel wrong. But at the same time, I can't motivate myself to vet all of my ideas fully up front. And I know that other game designers do. I know that other game designers put in countless hours solo testing their designs to see if they even work. There you go. That's my admittance. Something I've battled with my whole life. But again, I like solving problems more than I like creating solutions. Which means that I probably shouldn't even attempt to be a creative, because being a creative is creating a solution, right? It's not solving problems. I would probably do much better helping other people develop their games than trying to create my own. Or, whatever other art form. Okay. I just wanted to admit that to somebody. That was you. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. Now that I screw the whole ending up when I say that, and then I forget how the rest of it goes. And I've said it for the last 6 years. Thank you for being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is germinal. It is an adjective meaning related to the earliest stage of development. Roland's foray into art buying is in its germinal phase. Germinal. 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 That makes sense, I guess. Germinate, germinal, germination. I got nothing. Other than my kid's name is Roland now. Did I tell you that?